this video has been the hardest one to film so far. Like, I've done the most takes for this video compared to like any other video. I don't know why I feel like I have to express myself more accurately, more eloquently in English, and it's driving me insane. Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about my mother tongue. As you can probably tell through this video, like, well, the words are coming out faster and more easily, and that's because, yeah, I come from Singapore, and in Singapore, we have an English-based education system. So I grew up speaking English. All my lessons were taught in English, except for mother tongue. So in Singapore, we take our mother tongue as a second language. 3 different types of mother tongue are taught in school. So if you're ethnically Chinese like me, you learn Chinese as your mother tongue about 4 to 5 times a week. If you're Malay, you learn Bahasa Melayu. And if you are Indian, you will learn Tamil. So we do this for about 10 years, from primary school to secondary school. Well, I'm simplifying it, but if you do well enough in those 10 years, then you don't have to take an 11th year of mother tongue education. If your mother tongue sucks like mine, and if you choose to go to junior college, which I did, then you will do an 11th year of mother tongue education. Yes, officially I've had 11 years of Chinese language education. I would say that my native language is Singlish because, for one thing, my accent is very obviously Singaporean. There are many ways to describe the Singaporean accent. Some of it is the merged dental fricative, which would be saying then instead of then. It takes so much effort for me to speak it the proper way, which is then. Yeah, I just go then. And the second thing is we don't pronounce consonants very well. Our teachers would nag about this all the time. Like, for example, we wouldn't say tool, we would just say tool. Can you go and take the tool? Or we wouldn't say racket, we would just say racket. Did you bring your book? They bring your book, not your book. We don't pronounce our consonants, maybe because it's more convenient. I mean, Koreans pretty much like merged all their end consonants anyway, so why can't we, right? Short vowels is the third one. So instead of saying like meat, you just say meat. You want to meet? You wouldn't say like look. It's so long. Look. Grammatically, Singlish is also very different from English. I've noticed that it's more similar to Chinese. Instead of saying I will be waiting for you at the bus stop, you can just say I go to bus stop wait for you. I go to bus stop wait for you. 我去巴士等你. So, and instead of saying you don't need to bring a camera tomorrow, you can just say tomorrow don't need to bring camera. 明天不用带相机. I feel so ridiculous like doing this, as if like I'm teaching a lesson. But anyway, and correct me if I'm wrong, but according to the Wikipedia page, the structure for Malay is similar as well. I don't know. Yeah, comment below. Let me know. I need comments. It's not that I'm not aware of what grammatically correct English sounds like. It's just that this short, abbreviated, jumbled up version of English is what comes most naturally to me. You might be surprised to know that even on our island of less than 730 kilometers square, there are a lot of variations in Singlish. And what I mean to say is that I may sound like that, but someone else who speaks English in Singapore might not sound like me. And this is because Singlish is a language that runs on a SOCIOLECT continuum, a more linguistic mumbo jumbo, but let me just try to explain this to you as best as I can. I just want to stress that I am describing Singlish right now like how how a scientist would describe flowers. Like I'm just describing what is there. I don't believe that one form of Singlish is higher than the other. I think that they're all worth celebrating, and they should be celebrated more because Yeah, it's awesome. I love that I speak Singlish. Basically, it starts from the pidgin level of Singlish. It's probably spoken more frequently amongst my grandparents' generation, and that's because they grew up with their own respective first languages. And when you have like all these various languages coming together, you just have to throw whatever words out there that you guys mutually understand to create this very underdeveloped kind of language system that all of you use. The number of people speaking pidgin level English is decreasing in Singapore, especially as more of us who grew up under the English-based education system are growing older. And next is Basilecto. Basilecto is the most colloquial form of speech. This is where you will find all the most prominent features of Singlish, and many of these features were probably borrowed from Asian languages, like as I demonstrated earlier with the grammatical structures and pronunciation quirks and what have you. So an example of this would be, "Walao, this guy Singlish sibei hiong sia." Yeah, it's not the most comfortable form of Singlish for me simply because I am bad at dialect. Like, I can understand dialect when I converse with my grandmother. She speaks to me in dialect and I reply in Mandarin Chinese. My dialect vocabulary is very, very limited. So you won't really see me speaking Basilect Singlish unless I am cursing. So the next level is Mesolectal English. Mesolectal Singlish is the most commonly spoken form of Singlish according to Wikipedia again. Mix of standard English and Singlish. So yeah, I probably speak this the most to my friends, borrowing the sentence from before. "Walao, this guy Singlish sibei hiong sia" would become, "This guy Singlish damn good eh." So sibei, it becomes damn, an English word. Hiong becomes good. Yeah, xia, I mean, they're both kind of, I guess sounds a little bit more anglicized. So yeah, but you can see like there are less dialect substitutions, and you start to use more words that are common in Singlish. Finally, you have the acrolectal Singaporean English. Probably I use it when I'm speaking to a camera, when I'm doing presentation. Very obviously, whoever's speaking is Singaporean, but we try as much as possible to polish out our sentences. So you would, instead of saying "this guy's English damn good," you would just say "this person's English is very good," which is pretty much standard English, but just in a Singaporean accent. I don't think that my native language is English per se. Or at least I don't think that I am comfortable speaking what people would consider standardized English. I can't speak like British English or like American English. Accent aside, I don't even know what British people talk about, like cupcakes and tea. You know what I mean? I don't know the kind of slang that British people use. Even though we learn British English in Singapore, all we really do is follow their spelling conventions. We don't really learn the terminology, British, very English terminology. We don't learn that. We have our own names for things. So one thing I noticed growing up is that a lot of people would try to mimic what we would call an Angmo accent. So an Angmo is basically, it literally translates into red hair, but it's used to refer to anyone who's a Westerner. So if you were to have an Angmo accent, then you would round your vowels and try to like basically imitate the way a Westerner speaks. There would be people in our schools that like they would speak with a more international or a more westernized accent, whatever it was. It just did not have to be Singlish, you know. It was looked down upon much more. I think things have gotten better in recent years. Like I saw this article about the Speak Good English movement. They are advocating for more situational, appropriate use of the language rather than being very prescriptivist, which is to say that like you have to speak in a certain way, otherwise your English is bad. Yeah, like I don't know when it was, but at a certain moment something snapped in me, and then I kind of realized like, why are we hiding our accents. I understand that this probably happens everywhere. Whenever you interact with someone from another country, you probably try to adapt your speech unconsciously in order to make yourself more understandable. But I don't understand why we Singaporeans are so ashamed of the way that we speak that we try to hide it and pretend that this is not how we speak. My favorite example is the Filipinos. I feel that Filipinos are always so proud and happy to speak English the way that they speak it, and I love the Filipino accent. It sounds really fun and jovial to me. I know that the Singaporean accent is not the most pleasant sounding, maybe that's why, but like when I went to Korea and when I spoke to people in English, I tried my best to be conscious and maintain the way that I spoke. I do admit that I did try to change my accent a little bit, but then I realized that they could still tell, and that's because I suck at mimicking accents, and I think a lot of Singaporeans are not very good at mimicking accents, so that's my hot take for this video. Let's just be proud of the way that we speak. So that's my little introduction. I tried to include more linguistic facts here in this video. I hope you found that interesting. If you want to learn more about like Singlish utterances, there are many Singlish related videos on YouTube that you can look for. Yeah, I'm not very sure if I'm the most appropriate person to teach Singlish. I probably could if you guys want me to. Yeah, again, let me know. Let me know if that's what you guys want me to do. I'm also thinking of doing another video in Chinese where I speak Chinese only. That's gonna be really fun. I always feel like when I am speaking in Japanese or Korean, I can hide behind a veil and say that, okay, this is not a language that I'm supposed to know, so it's okay if I make mistakes. But when it comes to English and Chinese, it's like you've done this all your life, and especially for Chinese, like a Chinese person who can't speak Chinese, yeah, look forward to that, and thanks for watching. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next